This is Tim Schafer's Magnus Opus. Absolutely no flaws whatsoever. You can turn the video off now. But wait, sit down. Listen to some terrible poetry with me.
Hey, how about another poem?
Okay, ashes to ashes, 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 to me, to ashes, to ashes, to ashes, to ashes.
That was great.
And soak in this gorgeous world. Grim Fandango is touted as the best adventure game ever created, with some of the best world building and a hilarious set of characters. It is honestly such a unique piece of art that I wish everyone could experience. Have you ever seen anything quite like this game? I sure as hell haven't, and that was what was so intriguing to me. I'm playing the remastered edition of Grim because when this game initially came out, I was like 10 months old. I probably wouldn't have been able to understand the nuance and the amazing jokes this game has to offer.
Can you get me a job here?
Have any skills?
Sales?
Well, that does qualify you for a certain position, but we only have one mop.
But I do know that I would have loved Glottis at any stage of my life.
Maybe so.
What a lighthearted character.
That's the Sugar Baba Light!
This game holds up in every creative sense. The Land of the Dead is ironically full of so much life. It is a beautiful, colorful world that mimics our own in so many ways.
Gladys, what are they doing to that tree?
Oh, city boy! You work all day in a 60-story skyscraper, but didn't you ever wonder what it was made of? The marrow of these trees, man. They suck it out. It's like cement.
Is that why the town's called El Marro?
Huh? Never thought of that.
This game beautifully takes two different story archetypes, film noir and Mexican folklore, and merges them into something so unique and refreshing. The world of this game is so inviting and mesmerizing. The art of this game has aged so well. The only real thing they remastered in this game artistically was the character models and the lighting of Manny. The background art is absolutely timeless. This was initially a point-and-click adventure game, which I feel like is the appropriate way to play this game. My dumbass played it on a controller and kept doing this. Oh my god, I'm going to give myself a seizure. And yes, I understand that I have the patience of this guy. You know, every man has his vices. There are a lot of puzzles and portions of this game that require tank controls, which essentially just means the movements suck. They are the inverse of what you were expecting to happen. See, usually you move the analog stick in the direction you want to go. Seems pretty intuitive, right? In certain puzzles in Grim, using the sticks to move objects around is inverted to Manny's original movement when he's traversing the world. It's honestly so frustrating. Then, this happened.
I remember writing a big justification about tank controls when I was pitching this. People were like, let's make it so the controls are more like Mario, where you push it. No, point and click. I was thinking tank controls I thought were superior to point and click at the time, because when you're pointing and clicking, you're distant from the screen, and the screen is this other thing that you're interacting with at your fingertips.
Right.
But when you're doing tank controls, you feel like you are in the center of the character.
Right.
And the world is rotating. The world's rotating around you, and so when you think, instead of going, I want to go on the left of the screen or I want to go to the right of the screen, you're saying, I want to look at the thing to the left of me and the thing to the right of me. Mm-hmm. And now, I don't know if that was necessarily the right decision, but it's a good piece of evidence that you can sometimes make a really good argument for the wrong decision. And that's something to watch out for in life. You know what I mean? Like,
You just fucking pulled me right back in, didn't you, Timmy? This commentary made this experience that much more enjoyable. When I listen to the creators of this game explain and laugh, it just brings the whole world together in such a unique artistic way. Also, forgot to mention that the remastered edition has director's commentary. It's implemented really smoothly. It's so rad. They do it perfectly. They don't force it on you. It never cuts into cutscenes. It's just a little button you can press if you want to hear a funny story.
I used to work at a doctor's office, and one of the jobs that I was doing, just terrible jobs there, and one of them was the roof was covered in like 6 inches of pigeon guano up there. They had a flat roof, like the roof of this building, and they're like, look, we got to get that stuff off the roof. It's going to break the roof. There's so much pigeon crap on the roof. And I had to go up there with like this flat shovel and cut. It was kind of like cutting brownies out of a pan.
Yeah.
I was just chopping up the bird poop and just scooping it up and throwing it off the roof. And but in chopping it up, I occasionally find like in sedimentary rock, like an archaeologist or a paleontologist, I would find the bones of a dead pigeon just inside this weird brownie of guano on the roof.
Wow.
Or devs talking tech.
Elevator code.
Yep.
Elevator code's the worst, man. Door code in general.
Or literal hints to the puzzles that are about to happen.
This is our first 3D game, and it's funny to see how many puzzles are about the physical properties of things, as opposed to
Right.
in a 2D adventure game, you would never make something based on the shape of something or
Right.
leverage. Like that whole puzzle was very physical. Like you had to move these two objects and stop them from sliding past each other, and the forklift jacked up on its back wheels. And I think we were just so excited to be in a world of physical stuff.
The vision and creativity in this game is mesmerizing. When you were just walking around soaking in the atmosphere and the music, that's when this game is at its best. Gear 2, Rubacabra. I knew I was gonna fuck this up.
It's like the worker bees. They do all the work, but we can't affect it's like the way that things are produced should be controlled by, we should, forget it. I'm just a dumb, hungry, out-of-work bee.
Some of my favorite jokes and gags are hidden within the section, and that sarcastic positivity is contrasted gorgeously in the smoke-filled atmosphere of Rubacabra. Why can't I fucking say names right? The art of this game is so unique, but especially here, this is the most expansive part of the playable map, and no detail was spared when creating it. I recommend only looking up a walkthrough when you feel completely stuck on a puzzle, because you are going to get stuck at one point or another. But you could push through. Try and figure out some of their obscure logic, because these puzzles are so silly and rewarding. The music of this game is one of a kind and so original and exciting. Peter McConnell is one of the all-time greats when it comes to video game composers. Good music and sound design is supposed to be invisible. So I've heard anyway. But Peter has this ability to use music to enhance every scene by making you feel such a wide array of emotions from room to room. He isn't just making good music, he's making some of the best music in video games. Music that I want to continue to listen to even after I'm done playing the games. He does wonders for the soundtracks he composes for. He is a one-of-a-kind artist. But I also can't forget the amazing musicians. They did an absolutely spectacular job. One of my favorite podcasts on the internet is Play, Watch, Listen, hosted by...
I'm Alana Pierce, I'm a video game writer. That's Mike Bethel, he's a video game director. That's Troy Becky, he's a video game actor. And that's Austin Winter, he's a video game composer.
Austin said something that I just can't get out of my brain.
Routinely being in the studio with these top-tier musicians, you forget the inherent wizardry of what they're doing. They are taking a piece of music that has never been in front of them before, and they're playing it as if they've been practicing it for months. They are.
That's
insane. And so it should be a thing that completely dumbfounds everyone all the time, forever. Even if you're John Williams and you've stood in front of those people hundreds of times, it's still just an astonishing feat that it's even possible to do.
So again, thank you to these amazing musicians for creating this masterpiece. The land of the dead is calling, my friend, and I urge you to go experience it for yourself.